Alright guys, welcome back. Unstable and I, Wolf, are here at the Mukdong studio casting the GSL Code S Group B. So right now Ensnare and Clide both have 1 point. They're about to play off here to see who takes the first place match, or first place spot I should say.
Coming on Terminus Re as well, very interesting TVT.
Yeah. Terminus Re, a very large map. This could play out to be a very long game, so while we're doing these intros, maybe you should go get some popcorn, maybe order a pizza or something, or just, I don't know, everyone's in different parts of the world right now. A lot of you guys are early in the morning, maybe make some waffles, or tell your wife to make some waffles, because I know she's not watching this, but you are, and you're like, alright, can you do this one thing for me? Just make me some waffles. I'm about to watch Clide versus Ensnare. It's a big deal to me. It's going to be long, so I'd like to have these waffles. She might do it. She might.
Most probably not, though.
Yeah, she probably won't. But tell her that maybe you'll go to the Pike's gardening shop with her later if she does it and make a deal. It's a good thing to do. Just make a deal.
And then just go back on that deal. And I never said that.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't like to do things like that unstable. I like to be truthful. Luckily for me, I'm not married. I was gonna say luckily I'm not married, but that might offend some people. But it's not time for me yet. I just turned 21. I'm a pretty young guy. I've got time.
Yes, you just turned 21. You didn't eat your cake that we bought for you on your birthday either.
It's not my fault, man. I've been really busy. I'm coaching a team. I'm casting the GSL.
I would have found time for the cake.
Well, cake's not that important to me, man. My team's much more important. The GSL is more important than 21 birthday cake. All right, the map is loading. Clide versus Ensnare. They both have 1 win. Who's going to take the second win? Let's find out on Terminus Re here at the GSL Code S in Group B. All right, over here at the 9 o'clock position, a member of the team OGS. He might trap you, or instead, it could be... You could get ensnared. He's got a lot of APM, look at him. His arm is moving pretty fast. Now his opponent, on the right side of the map, a member of the team TSL, he is...
TSL Clide.
Alright guys, there are a lot of different options on this map. This is a huge map, biggest map in the GSL map pool. Very easy natural to take, but an even easier third. Will we see gases from these guys? Well, as I asked that question, both players take their gas, so neither wants to go for a very fast 1-Rax expand. You see that on this map sometimes, but people have just really figured out these tech builds to where their Banshee control is so good, their Hellion control is so good, that even if you're so comfortable, even if you're OGS the STC, right, and you know how to hold everything, a good player can break you. He can find a place to shut you down for having that fast expansion. You have to be very careful. So
yeah, it only takes one misclick for things to go completely the wrong way, and neither of these guys are safe from falling out of the tournament just yet, as the loser will have to play off the loser of the other match. So a lot still to decide here. The barracks placement for these guys very different though. Yeah,
Ensnare actually making his barracks very far to the front again. We saw them do that last game, but that was a very specific reason. He actually used it to lift up and kill the Overlord, making his barracks up here at the front this time. It means that he might have his Marine out a little bit faster to deny a scout, and that looks like what he wants to do here. Oh, he wants to make Clide think he's fast expanding.
He needs to get this SEV really quickly. He does have the second Marine coming up. I think he got a little bit too close.
Oh! He should have gotten it. He accidentally stopped chasing it. Ah! I know that noise that I just made is probably the same noise that Ensnare is making inside his booth right now. Does get taken out, sees the second gas.
We have a factory though with a reactor.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's making the factory right next to the reactor as if he's going to switch and go reactor to Hellions and TVT.
Yeah.
You don't normally see that.
Could be interesting. We might be seeing a drop coming through from him.
Yeah, it could be some sort of unusual build we just haven't seen yet. He might actually just use the reactor for the barracks. But no, he's lifting the factory over the barracks. He really wants to use that reactor on his factory.
You just can't wait for it to finish. We do have a starport going down as well. I think we are going to see a drop.
Yeah, most likely. The factory of Clide is making a tech lab. We'll see if he wants to go for Banshees or if he plans on going Blue Flames. It looks like it is going to be Banshees, so both players doing a switch-ons here. Very different, though. Interesting to go for Reactor Hellions and TVT. If your opponent makes a bunker, it kind of just shuts this down. You can't really use it. I mean, if he doesn't have his natural, which he doesn't in this case, he's teching, you can't really use the Hellions effectively. He's going to have a bunker at the top of his ramp. It's going to be very difficult to sneak those Hellions in, and even if you do sneak them in,
that's why he's using a dropship.
Yeah, that's true. But why do you need a reactor for that? By the time you have enough Hellions to fit in the dropship, unless he goes like 2 dropships full of Hellions, I don't think he's going to do that. It's very strange to me. And he's not going for a drop. He's getting a Banshee.
He's actually getting a Banshee. That's very interesting.
There is this Hellion Banshee style that players have started to do a little bit, where you clean up Marines with the Hellions. But normally you see that with Blue Flame. You don't see a fast reactor. You usually see 2 factories. You expand, and then you start doing the style. And you get a reactored Hellion factory and a second factory producing Hellions. You get a ton of Hellions out.
Yep.
So I wonder if that's the kind of style we're going to end up seeing eventually for Ensnare, is just opening this way to have that Hellion count up pretty high.
Well, having the Cloaked Banshee there as well is really going to help, as we do see.
Here's the thing, he's going to clean up a lot of these Marines with these Hellions, and then when the Banshees come in, there might not be any Marines left to defend. That may be the plan here.
As only has 3 Marines left. There is a reactor on that barracks, though. And of course, he does have that starport as well to throw out a Viking if he needs it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the real crucial thing. That's why I'm trying to figure out if his initial plan here was to just cut down on the Marines with these Hellions and use the Banshee, but there's always going to be that Viking, unless he does a fast expand build, in which
we
case
have the Banshee coming into the main here for Ensnare. Doesn't have as many Marines as he probably want. Only has 2 because he's used all those different tech swaps around. He does now have that reactor on the barracks, but there's only these 2 Marines. He's going to have to hope that he misclicks here a little bit. There is still 6 Marines over here for Clide in his main as well.
Very true. And again, these Hellions coming up here trying to do a little bit of harassment. Banshee going to try to snipe that tank maybe.
Really needs to get rid of those Marines. Looks like what he's trying to do here. There's only 3 Marines left, now 2. He's going to be able to deal with that very effectively.
He actually shouldn't have used those Hellions at all, because you don't have to. There's the Viking to finally clean up the Banshee. Banshee does get 11 kills, 12 kills before she dies. Almost 13, but that's that unlucky number. That's why you can't get 13 kills.
There we go, the quick Banshee coming through here. It looks like Clide does have enough for a scan, though. There's very low health on that Banshee. Like 2 Vikings there to clean it up as well.
I've noticed a lot of players just aren't scanning. If the Banshee leaves, you just don't scan, because it will eventually run out of energy. I like that move. A lot of people finally realizing you just don't have to kill that Banshee.
No. We do have a Raven coming out here for Clide as well.
Just wants to be very safe. Doesn't want the Banshee to be annoying anymore. You know, basically just, again, doesn't want to invest in those scans. Banshee did get 8 kills, so 12 kills and 8 kills for Ensnare, or for Clide and Ensnare respectively. I wanted to say it respectively because that's how it's done. And right now the command center going up for Ensnare a little bit late compared to Clide's command center, but Clide is still not mining from his natural just yet, so he's not extremely ahead, just a little bit ahead in worker count. 29 to 23 SCVs. Remember that both of these players lost a lot of SCVs during that harassment. And 3rd base going down for Ensnare right now. He's actually realizing his opponents have that faster command center. He knows his 3rd base is almost a freebie, so he's just going to go ahead and go for it.
He's trying to get as many kills with this Banshee as he can as well. There's the scan this time. Doesn't get it though. Getting a lot of Marine kills here.
Yeah, in fact, that Banshee does get 5 Marine kills. The last kill gotten after she was dead, but the missiles still hit. Siege mode being researched right now for Ensnare. He's gonna have siege mode much faster than his opponent, and in fact, he actually has the ability to do a timing attack if he realizes this. While he takes that 3rd base, he's in a pretty good spot. And this Banshee gonna cloak and come in here again, but there is a Raven and a ton of Marines. Be very careful with how he controls this. Does not want to lose that Banshee to Marines. Nice positioning, keeps it just out of range of those Marines.
He's doing very well. That 3rd base is now up and running here for Ensnare. I don't think Clide has any idea that this is going on either. It's going to really hurt him.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Although Clide is ahead in the supply by about 12.
Yeah, part of that is in SCVs, and the other part, of course, is just that he's invested in those. He invested in the Vikings. He even has the Raven out. Just a few extra units here and there, but both of them having even siege tank count. And like I said, Ensnare had that faster siege mode. Didn't really make use of it. Vikings checking around for drops, checking for Banshees. Always a good idea to do that when your Vikings are idle and you don't have to use them. Just make sure they're checking for things. You don't want your Vikings to grow up lazy. In fact, Ensnare's Vikings doing the same over on his side of the map. He's got them out checking for drops. Something a lot of players have started to do on this particular map, especially because there's so much area, so many different places drops can come in. Nice little attack move out here, trying to kill that Banshee. Even with the Raven, it just can't catch up to the Banshee. It's a little too fast.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more sensor tower use as well, as we see that Clide is making a sensor tower there to stop any kind of drops coming through. Lots and lots of use in TBT recently.
This is true. And Clide actually might try to do a siege up here on the cliff. With a point defense run, he will win the air battle, which is going to be extremely helpful here. But Ensnare does siege up first. And again, the Vikings will fall because of that point defense drone. And Ensnare actually looking like he is in a little bit of trouble. He's losing a lot of supply here. Trying to take out that Banshee.
There we go, finally does get it.
Point defense drone still around, granting vision of that high ground. Makes Ensnare very reluctant to move forward and try to attack it, because if he does, he could get hit by siege tanks. He just doesn't really know what's over there. And again, another Banshee will fall.
Looks like he's going to go straight in here. There's only one tank that's actually sieged, moving straight forward, does take that out. Instead, trying to pull all his units back, sieging up there. The 3 tanks, nice positioning, but he will lose this factory at the front, pulling SCVs as well, a little bit premature.
Yeah, he is looking like he is in rough shape. The point defense drone will fall eventually. This being targeted down here, but that's not really coming into play all that much anymore. The starport is actually in range of these siege tanks, and he may end up losing it. He's going to have to lift it if he wants to keep it alive. Clide has taken his own third base, and it looks like he's going to just run forward here. Will he siege up? He's not actually sieging up, which might be a mistake.
He needs to focus down these tanks. He does get one, and the second one does go down. That could be it.
Yeah, there's just too many tanks here, I think, for Clide. I think this game may just very well end. 90 supply to 53 right now. He just had too many units, and even though he broke through very cost ineffectively, it just doesn't matter. Now he scans and he sees there's nothing there. GG.
So Clide will advance in the first seed through this group.
Yep.
Has he changed your mind yet?
Yeah, actually a little bit. I have to admit he played really well today, and I look at him like he's a better player for sure. My perception of him wasn't as accurate as I thought. I never thought he was bad. I just didn't think he was worthy of praise, you know. And it's Clide actually going to come and go speak to Ensnare, be very mannered, bow to him. And I'm sure he's telling him he played a good game, and that's always good. It's good to be friendly. I actually had an unfriendly altercation with Ensnare on BNet once, but it's good to see that he is very manner in real life.
He seems pretty happy, even though he did lose that game. He still does have another chance to make it into the top 2 seed.
Yeah, because he is still currently second place. And what happens now is actually we have
Violet versus AnyPro.
Right.
And then the winner of this will play...
The loser of the other one? Yeah.
Yes, the winner of this will play Ensnare.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Yeah.
So 2 more games to come tonight.
Yep. So you guys can get a shot of the scores here in just a second. Obviously, Clide already has advanced the round 16. He won't be playing anymore here today. Now, AnyPro will play against Violet. The map is Dual Sight. This is going to be a PvZ. Dual Sight, a map that is not very large. It's not small. It's not like Steps of War small. It's like Metalopolis size, but it's a 2-player map. There aren't a lot of bases. Yeah, it's a good map. I like it. The Zelnaga Watchtowers are very important on this map as well, so we'll see though. I think AnyPro's style is very timing attack oriented in this matchup, but he does it so well that I wouldn't be surprised if we see more success from him, more so than we've seen from Son earlier today, than we've seen from Tails. You know, I think we'll see a little bit more successful timing attacks.
Yeah, this is a must-win here for both these guys. The loser will drop down in the up-downs. And,
exactly,
of course, the winner does have that one last chance to go into the round of 16.
Yeah, so the loser of this is going to have to go to the up-and-down matches, which is a hard place to be. Obviously, this is just our second group of Code S. But already, there are great players in there. One of them being Jelizerg. So you just remember, it's not a guarantee that even if a player who is really good falls down, they are going to stay in Code S, because they're all really good players in the up and down matches. Remember, the players in Code A that are going to eventually get to those up and down matches as well are also just improving. The quality of matches improves so much from day to day, and that makes these situations so much more stressful.
Yeah, the divide between Code A and S is narrowing quite a bit as time goes on.
All right, so the countdown has started. The map is loading. AnyPro versus Violet. Who's going to take this game on dual site? I am Wolf, and with me is Unstable, and we're here at the GSL Code S.